Hey Bulldog fans, welcome back to another edition of the Bryant Basketball Coaches Show. Tristan Hobbs, head coach of the men's basketball team, is Jared Grasso. Coach, another 1-1 week, now 5-5 through 10 games, right in the thick of the Northeast Conference standings with 8 games to go. It has been one heck of a Northeast Conference season. To be this late in the season and have this much or this little separation in the standings is quite remarkable.
Yeah, I feel like it's typical for the NEC. You know, we're all beating up on each other, and something we kind of talked about it from jump. On any given day, anybody can beat anyone in this league, so that's why you have to be prepared every night. And I think it's kind of shown. You see the parity in the league from top to bottom. Everyone's really close together, and every game is really going to matter down the stretch.
You guys go on the road Thursday night. You beat Wagner at Wagner for the first time in a couple years. A very tough place to play. How proud of you with your team's defensive effort, especially in that game?
Yeah, I think we were really gritty. We got stops, we defended, we rebounded, shared the ball, and then made some shots down the stretch in the second half. So obviously road league wins are hard to come by, and thought we got a good one there. And unfortunately, bounced back on Saturday where we had a great run, you know, up 12 with about 7 or 8 minutes left and couldn't hold on down the stretch. So winning on the road is hard. We're really happy with the Wagner win, and unfortunately didn't finish the Central game the way we would have liked. So we get back to work and get ready for this Robert Morris trip. When
you look at that Wagner game, what kind of stood out to you? You mentioned gritty, but what really stuck out to you from your team's perspective as far as what you guys did well in that game?
I think 2 things. One, our toughness and physicality. I thought we defended and rebounded the ball, which is something we've hung our hats on the last month or so. And offensively, kind of had different stretches of guys making plays and making shots. Adam Grant, Byron Hawkins, Sebastian Towns, Joe Kaspersic, Juan Cardenas. Like those guys all had stretches where they really made plays for us. And for us to be good, it's going to be by committee, and we need 5, 6, 7 guys stepping up and making plays for us.
Interesting, after the game, they interviewed Bash Towns right after they talked to you, and they asked Bash about his ability to hit three-pointers and whatnot, and he talked about being a 3-level scorer. It seems that you've kind of cultivated an offense that has a lot of guys that can be 3-level scorers. How much does that help you?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously for Bash, he's really expanded his game where he can step out and make threes, put it on the floor, make mid-range jumpers. And Byron Hawkins is starting to play better. He didn't shoot the ball great against Central, but he's really started to get in a groove of scoring the ball. And Adam Grant's obviously a guy who can get to the rim, make mid-range jumpers, and make threes. So I think that's always important when you can have guys like that. The biggest thing is for us is having 3 or 4 guys doing it in the same game. We don't have a guy who's going to get 35, but we need 18, 16, 16, 14. We need 3 or 4 guys to chip in, and those are the games we've been successful in.
You mentioned the game on Saturday at Central Connecticut. You had the advantage in the second half. What was the message after that game to the team? Obviously, I know it's a tough one because it would have been your first weekend sweep. You would have been right in the thick of playing for first place. But what was the message now knowing you have to go on probably the toughest trip in the Northeast Conference, going out to Western Pennsylvania?
Yeah, we got to bounce back and get better. You know, I thought our kids played hard. We missed some shots we normally make down the stretch and needed to make some adjustments maybe we didn't make defensively. But what do? You get better, you get back in the gym, you get ready for Thursday. You know, we're not going to feel sorry for ourselves. And winning league games is hard. And sometimes you're going to steal one. Sometimes you're not going to make shots down the stretch. Someone else does. Biggest thing is what's your resolve like and how you're going to bounce back. And, yeah, it's a hard loss. Our guys didn't stomach it well. I still haven't slept since it. But we have Thursday we go to Robert Morris, who's the first place team in the league. Then Saturday we go to St. Francis, PA, who was picked to win the league. So you got to go on the road and find a way to win. And the only way you're going to do that is you practice really hard Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, put your game plan in, and be prepared to play Thursday night. Because as this league has shown, anyone can win on any given night. You have to be the better team for 40 minutes. So what you have to do as a coach and the staff and kind of impose into your players is we have to put ourselves in position mentally and physically to be prepared to play 8 more nights right now. We have 24 days, 8 games, and we have to make sure we're in optimal position to be successful, which means taking care of your bodies, getting extra shots up, being in the training room, all those little things that can add up to a made or miss shot that end up winning or losing a game. So for the next month, we're going to kind of try and really focus on doing everything we can control. So taking all the controllables and make sure we do everything in our power to put ourselves in position to be successful.
Coach, lastly, you've now played Central twice. You're done with that series, but it was your first chance on Saturday to play a team for the second time this year. You now start the rest of the last 8 games. You play all the teams you've played before. How now does that change kind of the scout part of it, the prep part of it, knowing now you have a game film to watch of you playing that team? How much does that change, and how excited are you kind of get into that part of it and kind of see, okay, this is what the matchups were the first time, how do we kind of work it this time?
Well, after watching us against Robert Morris the first time, I didn't really enjoy that one too much. So we're going to have our hands full on Thursday against a really good team. But, if you lost the game, you're trying to make adjustments to figure out what can we do, what do we need to change to put ourselves in position to be more successful. And if you're coming off a team you beat, you're thinking about, A, what adjustments they're going to make, and B, and I've tried to employ this to our guys, it doesn't matter what happened the first time around. If you follow college basketball, not just our conference, if you look throughout the country, you'll see Indiana had lost 7 games in a row, and then they go win at Michigan. You see these things happen, and you always ask why. And the non-real basketball fans out there, how can Indiana go beat Michigan? Any given day, the team that's most prepared and has the best preparation and guys ready to perform, and then guys step up and make plays and make shots, can win on any given night. So it's about putting yourself in position to have a game plan in, have your guys understand your game plan, and then players have to step up and make plays. And that's what it comes down to this time of year. We all know each other, the teams in our league. We know what Robert Morris is going to try and do. We know how Central was going to play. Like, we know those things going in. It comes down to players stepping up and making plays, and coaches making adjustments as games go on, try and put your team in position to be successful. And when you know teams as well as you do and the scouting is so good, sometimes it comes down to let's step up, let's make plays, let's make shots, let's figure out a way to get a stop and make one play here, one play there to find a way to win. And
I lied, Coach, one more thing. Regardless of if you're a Patriots fan or not a Patriots fan, you might be a Giants guy, you're from that area. How much, as a coach and someone that wants to kind of give you a better, can you appreciate kind of what Bill Belichick and the Patriots have kind of like molded as far as the way the team works, the way the team kind of puts themselves out there for one another?
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable what Bill Belichick has done and what the dynasty they've built. And I am very far from being a Pats fan. I've had to listen to Brock for the last 5 hours in the office, so I've had enough of talking about the Super Bowl. But yeah, I mean, Bill Belichick is a genius, and that organization is run so well, and it starts from the top, from their leadership, and you work all the way down to the players. And that's what we're trying to do here, is build a culture that starts from the top with our administration. You work your way down to our staff, and then have players who understand the way we want to do things and what our culture is built around. And I think the Patriots are the prime example in sports right now of an organization that is so good from top to bottom. And obviously it helps when you have arguably the best football coach of all time, and not arguably, without a question, the best quarterback of all time. So it helps when you have those guys, but that's an organization that runs so smoothly from top to bottom, and they put themselves in position to be successful every year.
Head coach Jared Grasso, the Bulldogs on the road this week at Robert Morris, on Thursday at St. Francis, on Saturday. Watch both of those games on NEC Front Row. We will see you next week.